Hey viewers! Welcome to another game of the Casual Pro Gamer. And today we're doing a 3v3 with Lee Sin, who is on Skype with Poppy. And I have one random here, and that's Alistar. And since I already know what's going to happen, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to try not to spoil it. So they are in a 3v3, and as I've said many times before, 3v3 is way different from the 5v5 which we normally see. This is much more about ganking and jungling and much less about laning. And yeah, Alistar here got the point. He has smite. I don't know, no, the tab key still doesn't work, not even on a 3v3. So he has smite, and he is going to be the surprise for the enemy team. And I've jungled a lot of times with Nunu on this map. And Nunu is not the best ganker ever, because all he has is a little bit of damage and a slow. But Alistar would be a lot better at doing that, because he has an actual stun, well, the pop-up. And then he has his headbutt, and if the lanes are pushed, you can easily get a kill that way, because the distance between the middle turrets is way longer than it is on the 5v5. And, well, as I said, this is all about ganking, so as long as you can get the gank off, you will do fine. So, and as long as Poppy can get the experience here, she doesn't really need to gold, because, well, as a team, you will have one under-leveled, well, over-leveled but under-fed champion. That's Poppy in this case. And you have two two over-fed champions, which also have quite a decent amount of experience. Well, the top lane is going to be equal to the enemy's top lane. Oh, I'm following the wrong person. And there we go. The Alistar coming in, and the first gank is already a fact. There we go. So this is how easy it is, because there's nowhere to run. It was a nice one. He flashed in and then used his headbutt, just in case you were following the chat. And yeah, doing a good job. So now that this lane is pushed, there's no reason for this guy to stay in, so he can help out in bottom lane, and they can actually get out, get another gank off. And it's going to take a while for the enemy to push this lane, or to push the top lane back. That is. Wow, drawing out two. Oh, what are they called? Come on, exhausts. And that's excellent, because now with Alistar coming in, it's a 3v2 situation, and it should be easy to get a kill here. There we go. I mean, this is what this map is all about, and just because Alistar is in the jungle, it is so much easier to gank. And you see, by just pushing one lane, just ganking one lane, then pushing it, you can get a gank in the other lane and still get back in plenty of time to catch the minion wave before it hits your turret. And especially if you have someone who can AoE damage the minions, you will have no problems. So many people still stay in lane, and that is what makes this map for many people about equal to the 5v5 map, but you really shouldn't do that. You really should try to gank as much as possible, because by doing that you're introducing a larger amount of gold per minute for your team and more experience, because you can also jungle, and you still get the normal gold from the lanes. You just don't have to deny the gold from the top lane or the bottom lane. You just kill the champions and be done with it. That's the way the pros play it, so that's the way it should be played. Unfortunately, 3v3 never became what the 5v5 was, because, well, they don't like to hold tournaments for it, and yeah, nobody really pays attention to it, unfortunately, because it is way more interesting to watch. Well, not if it's just laning, but yeah, as you can see here, in the first like 2 minutes we already got a kill, and that's never happening in the 5v5 matches. Because in the 5v5 matches it's really all about, well, long-term goals, and they are going to get one kill at least, and maybe the second one. Oh, unfortunately missing the Q there on Lee Sin, but he might get it back in time to finish this guy off. Nope, it's not going to happen. That's unfortunate. If he yeah, if you just aim to Q a little bit better there and realize that that the guy was stunned, then that would have been a kill. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They are still going to get plenty of kills in the rest of the game, I'm assuming. It's 3-0. It's not really over yet, even though on a 5v5 this would be awesome. Here it's all about the late game. If you get enough gold, of course, you're really hard to kill late game. But also, if you get fed, your late game is going to be, well, it will be there sooner than the opponent's late game. And in the late game, if you get a kill, you will get at least one turret. Or yeah, well, yeah, get one kill. That would be probably correct. And if you get an ace, you would probably get the inhibitor. So that's why it's all about the late game. There's no reason to push turrets in the early game. I mean, why would you? If you're just going to go into the late game. Yeah, and if in the late game it's so easy to kill turrets, there's no real reason to push turrets in the early game, where it's very hard to do, and you're very vulnerable to ganks if you do push turrets. So as you can see, Alistar really strong here. He can almost survive anything, and he has no trouble getting out of the fight, even after he gets attacked a little bit, because he has well, the sustainability all on his own. So he has armor and he has plenty of life, and all in all that's enough to get you safely to the turret, which is all that matters. Lee Sin, of course, the heavy damage dealer here. He has his Q to move around quickly, to jump over walls, and that is his main advantage here. I mean, the fact that he does some nice damage is okay, but there are a lot of champions that do nice damage. It is all about maneuverability for Lee Sin. And it makes him, well, it makes that he can gank easier. It also makes that he can run away from ganks easier. And this Alistar is doing a great job on keeping away the enemies and keeping them, well, in range when they need to be in range, and out of range when they need to be out of range. And there he goes, once again, flashing over the wall and getting the damage done. Poppy is going to live. Wow. Yeah, I cannot see the the health on that. But Lee Sin comes in to finish it off, and enemy Lee Sin is has to defend this lane. And yeah, Ashe is really useless on this map, because this is 3v3 and not 5v5. Ashe is a late game carry, and there's no way you're going to get enough gold to get the items you need. But yeah, having Ashe and Lee Sin on your team really doesn't do anything. It's useless. And having Olaf then as a third AD carry, yeah, that's just craziness. I mean, you need to spread out your damage between magic and AD. So magic and physical. Because otherwise people are just going to buy armor and you're totally useless as a team. And yeah, this is an easy kill once again. Still has his ultimate up. And there we go. Only at half life here, so no problem at all staying alive. And unfortunately misses the Q once again and is going to die for that, I think. Yeah. Died because of the dragon, I think. Yeah. And Alistar trying to get the kill anyway, but yeah, not actually getting in range. Alistar picking up the movement speed buff, but doesn't have an ultimate anymore, so should probably run out because all three of the opponents are there. And
an enemy has been slain.
Oh wow, Poppy picking off one of the opponents. Poppy of course can do some pretty nice damage. And yeah, it's not going to survive this obviously. But it's okay. I mean, they can lose some kills as well. It's 73 and yeah, they have been getting a lot more experience than the enemies from jungle. Although they didn't get dragon, and dragon is really a high price target here. So I'm assuming both of the teams have dragon warded in some way. And there comes Olaf, who is too late for dragon. Oh, there's a pink ward here, so enemy team didn't have dragon ward unless it's right here somewhere. But yeah, an easy kill for them once again. Alistar doing a good job tanking that damage. And enemy Lee Sin running out of here, probably going to reach his turret, but his turret is not going to save him this time. Because they are just too tanky by now. They have the higher levels and they can basically just take the turret shots. So this should be a turret kill probably, but it doesn't have to be. They can still go for jungle, just get more XP and just, yeah, expand their advantage. Once again missing the Q, so Lee Sin definitely needs to work on hitting the Q. And it takes quite a lot of practice to, well, to hit it every single time. Or at least like 95% of the time. In easy situations, of course. I mean, you cannot help it if somebody flashes away exactly at the moment that you target him, but you should be able to hit a running opponent. Or in this case, a minion that is standing still. But especially the one that he missed here, somewhere. That would have been awesome if he hit that, and that was a real shame he didn't, because that would have been an easy kill. So Alistar apparently already done with this build, which is very smart because, well, the more gold you can spend on wards, the better map control you will have, better you will know where your enemies are, and if you know where your enemies are, you can gank them easier. And yeah, by this time, as I said, they are already in the late game. They can easily take out the turrets if they get some damage done. Enemy doesn't realize that there are wards in this bush, and this Lee Sin is dead. Olaf coming in to get killed as well, but it is Ashe that is going to get focused next, and they really should try to start focusing the turrets now, because they can kill the enemies over and over again, but at some point they are going to lose a team fight if they're not careful. And they should really just use the advantage they have now to get an even bigger advantage by either taking out the turrets or just at least pushing both lanes. Because at this point Ashe can still hold off one lane, but she cannot hold off both lanes, so they should really just push at this point. I mean, it's 60 minutes in, this game should be over at 11-3. Yeah, this is, as I said, this game is over. The enemy team realizes that as well. So Poppy once again getting focused by the enemy team, but not surviving this time. And yeah, Poppy has been on her own for, well, most of the match instead of staying with the team. So Alistar putting down another pink ward to well, to keep their ward on Dragon, but not the enemies. Of course, this would be a much better place for your pink ward, because then you can see the entire Dragon pit as well. But yeah, I do understand that if you know where the ward is, that you just place it right next to it, and that's fine. So yeah, Lee Sin really has no chance here to of staying alive. And I'm assuming that they are going to get him, yeah. Nice assist there on Alistar, realizing that if he just is in range of the E skill, no, that's not the E skill, it's the yeah, it's the W skill. The wards or the shield that Lee Sin will actually be able to escape. So Alistar sacrifices himself for the dragon. So they trade dragon for Alistar, which is a good trade. Because, well, one champion gives you 300 gold, and at, well, about on average, and the dragon gives you 900 gold. So it's a good deal. So Poppy once again on her own, and yeah, fortunately they do ward pretty well, and that means that they know where the enemies are. Well, they know if the enemies are coming, and Poppy should be able to escape. So Alistar taking the red buff here, or rather starting the red buff here, but giving it to Lee Sin in the end, and nicely done. And there we have the surrender. So this was a really good example of how to play 3v3. It's not only the fault of the enemy team, it's just that they played brilliantly. And this is exactly what should happen in a 3v3. You should really gank, jungle, and be in both lanes at the same time, stay with your team, and just pick off the enemies that you can find on their own. So, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. GG.